Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Wingate Solutions. I hope you're doing well. So today's video is going to be part 2 in a series I'm doing on suppressors. So if you haven't watched the first one, you want to go ahead and check that out. That's where I talk about my recommendation on getting a can that is hub pattern compatible to future-proof your decision. I know there's a lot of people that are just getting into cans due to the decreased wait times for NFA items. And I think that's awesome. I think we need to get more people having these sort of things to streamline them, to make them more common use, to hopefully get them off the NFA, and then eventually repeal the NFA in total, just because it is unconstitutional. We'll get into that in future videos. Not really a topic for today. Anyway, if you're new to the suppressor market and you're not sure what kind of can you want to get into, I recommend getting something hub compatible. If you're unsure of what style of mount you want to start with, I recommend getting something that is Plan B compatible. They are starting to become the standard, or at least they're starting to have the most aftermarket support that I've seen with any other muzzle device system. So they're very, very well thought out, simple design. I think Q originally started the Plan B style, but Reardon is the one that really made it common and has streamlined it over the last couple of years. So Reardon Manufacturing, really cool company. And there's a few other ones that make muzzle devices for them. Wolfpack Armory, I think Ford Controls. You can look into a few other ones. Go on a forum, look up a list. There's a few forums that have a whole list of all the manufacturers that support this system. And that's what makes it cool, because if one company goes out of business or is out of stock for months and months on end, you still should be able to find somebody that has one in stock for you. And with the increased aftermarket support, the system shouldn't die or go away anytime soon. And it is pretty proven at this point. I intend to do more videos in the future, kind of showing, like, point of impact shift, repeatability of that, taking the can on and off, that sort of thing. We'll do some more testing videos like that coming up. That's why I wanted to do these shorter videos, so that I'm not getting too lost in the weeds of one video and losing a lot of people. So hopefully this helps, and I'll probably do some deeper dives too down the road as well, because I know sometimes long format videos are kind of fun to watch. Anyway, look into Plan B muzzle devices to go with your hub pattern suppressor. Now, I know YouTube hates seeing suppressors be mounted and dismounted on rifles, which is silly because it's literally a pipe being screwed onto another pipe. So I don't understand why that's one of the big concerns they have. Anyway, we'll try to play nice because it's their platform and I'm just a random gun channel. But you can see this taper on this muzzle device right before the threading. That is awesome because it keeps the threads from getting really fouled up with carbon. So you should be minimizing the chances of carbon locking your can. I've had zero issues with these. I also don't shoot thousands before taking the can off. Every range session, I'm pretty much unscrewing the can, screwing it back on, because it's kind of fun. It's kind of addicting to unscrew it and screw it back on, or mount it between rifles. This design is really nice for that. You're not going to wear it out. At least you shouldn't, unless you damage the threads or something like that. It should, in theory, be very reliable long term, and it has been so far for me. I haven't heard of any issues. But I really like the simplicity. Like I said, no ratchets to wear out, nothing like that, nothing to be concerned with as far as whether or not it's on there. Like, you screw it down tight, it tightens up against that tapered shoulder, and you just do it hand tight, and it's not going anywhere. But if you need to loosen it back up again, it's just a matter of, cranking it off a little bit more force than you put on for the most part, because it'll kind of get locked on there a little bit, but not enough to keep it on there. And the cool part about these is having those exposed wrench flats, both on the muzzle device and the can itself, kind of makes it dummy proof. So for even if something did happen where something unscrewed, like the muzzle device from the barrel, it's not going to be stuck in your can. It's something you can go home and fix, and it's not that big of a deal. So I really like that design. I would go with one that has the exposed wrench flats of some sort. Sometimes they're going to be like this, where you use a typical open-ended wrench. Some of them will be a little more recessed, but you can use like a spanner wrench. So that's kind of going to be personal preference. This specifically is that Reardon Atlas mount that mounts to the hub pattern threads of this can, which this specifically is a YHM Turbo K. We'll get more into types of cans in later videos as well. This is just an example. I really like it. Look into them. They're becoming the standard across the industry for a reason, just because of the simple use, kind of dummy proof aspect of them. Here's an example of a Wolfpack Armory Plan B flash hider, very similar to the Reardon in that it is A1 style all the way around. There's no closed bottom. I believe Reardon and a few other ones do make the closed bottom style if you're concerned about like dust and that sort of thing, if you're shooting from the prone. I'm not as much. I like these styles that I don't have to time or shim. It's awesome. I can just throw some rock set on, crank it on to spec or, you know, decent torque, and it's not going anywhere. And if it did crack loose, not a big deal. It has those wrench flats. I really like that. The Wolfpack Armory is really cool. There's a few other ones out there. Go on a forum, look up a list of all the different compatible manufacturers for Plan B style, or for the like the kind of the Atlas style of mounts. I guess you could still call them Plan B. There's a bunch of different manufacturers out there. Do a little bit of research, but I don't think you can go wrong going with this style of muzzle device. But I know this one's kind of quick. That's kind of the way I wanted it to be. Hopefully you got something out of it. I will be doing more testing in the future, like I said, on point of impact shift, on like flash suppression of the few of the different manufacturers. I'll kind of get into that. I want to test a few more of these cans out as we get going, especially now that it's getting dark out a little earlier. I can do some more nighttime shooting and not feel like I'm annoying the neighbors as much. So we'll do some of that. If you guys have specific suggestions on what you want to see, throw it down in the comments. Or if you have your own ideas on what you recommend, feel free, please put them down there. I like hearing what you guys have had experience with or what your thoughts are on these sort of things as well. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all those sort of things because it helps support the channel. I appreciate you guys. If you want to check out our website, link down in the description, Wingate Solutions LLC.com. Small business. My wife and I make rifle slings and other nylon gear. We really appreciate you. Till next time, guys, get out and train.